Hi, my name's Sam Thompson from Edinburgh Tour Guides, and we're looking at Edinburgh Castle today. The blue seats you can see to the left, that's the stands for the Edinburgh Military Tattoo. They're a temporary structure. We put them up every year. We have some concerts, then we have the tattoo, and then they're taken down again. So depending on the time of year that you visit, they may or may not be in situ. Now, as you go into Edinburgh Castle, you'll see two statues. One of them is Robert the Bruce and the other one is William Wallace. Now, the easy way to tell them apart is Robert the Bruce has a crown. Now, the entrance to the castle is quite narrow, and in the summertime, as you can see, you have to queue to get in to buy tickets. So if you can, buy your tickets in advance, and then that way you can miss the queue and go up to the portcullis where you get scanned to get in. Now, there is a gift shop as you go into the castle, but don't worry, this is the way out as well, so you won't miss it. The quickest way to the top of the castle is the Lang Stairs, but they're 70 steps and they're very steep, so I would go the long way round. It's much easier. If you happen to have a postcard in your bag and you keep forgetting to post it, there's a post box in the castle, so you can use that. Now, what I would say about the surface as you walk around the castle is it's quite uneven. It's setts or cobbles. There are some flagstones as well, but these are quite bumpy, so just bear that in mind. There's a couple of museums in the castle as well. One of them is the Scottish National War Museum, and we've got the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards as well. So yeah, there's lots to see within the castle. This is the Victorian prison, where if you were a soldier and you were drunk on duty, this is where you would be put. Had 16 cells. It's like a miniature version of a Victorian prison in Scotland. The older prison is underneath the Great Hall, so this is where the French prisoner of war would be kept, or the American prisoners of war. It's quite a nice way they've done this. They've got the accommodation or the prison, and then they've got like a little museum you can go around as well, and you can see things that the prisoners have made. Now, as you head up to Crown Square, you have to go through Foog's Gate. It's quite narrow, quite steep, and as you can see, when it rains, the cobbles are slippy, so bear that in mind. Now, at the top, we have this little chapel. This is St. Margaret's Chapel. It dates to 1130, and it was built by David I, who was the son of Queen Margaret, built in her memory. Beautiful chevroned archway here, that's an original part of the chapel. St. Margaret was canonised around 1250, and she's very well remembered in Scotland. We have a South Queen's Ferry, a North Queen's Ferry, Ferry Road, that kind of thing, so she is remembered. The stained glass windows in the chapel date from the sort of 1920s, so they're a more modern addition, but you've got St. Margaret, St. Columba in these windows, so it is definitely worth going into the chapel, but because it's small, you sometimes have to queue to get in. Just bear that in mind. Now, this is Mons Meg. She's a siege cannon. She dates back to the 1450s, and she's absolutely enormous. I can't kind of put into words how big this thing is. So definitely have a look at Mons Meg, and then once you're there, look over the wall. You get fantastic views, and just over the wall from Mons Meg is the Soldiers' Dog Cemetery. Just this little cemetery where the soldiers had their dogs buried. The only other place I know that's got that is Fort George up by Inverness. Now, that's the Redcoat Cafe, the cart sheds that you're seeing below, and then we've got St. Margaret's Chapel here. This is the Scottish National War Memorial. It's an absolutely beautiful building. They used the best artists and architects when they were building it. So if you've got time, definitely go in and have a look at that. It is a memorial, just bear that in mind. But you can look at the books and you can look for names and things like that. So it's worth it if you've got time, and it's also where the highest point of the Castle Rock is as well. The other thing we have here is the Royal Apartments. We have the Honours of Scotland, which are the crown jewels. We've also got the Stone of Destiny on display here as well. It can be very, very busy, and you have to queue to go up and to see it, but it's worth it if you've got time. Excuse me. You've also got the Lay Hall or the Low Hall, and we've got the birthing chamber where Mary Queen of Scots gave birth to James VI. The birthing chamber is absolutely tiny. You can touch wall to wall almost. It's that small, beautifully decorated. It was restored for his visit, but it's so small that I can't get over how small this room is. So definitely, if you see a queue going into it, it is worth waiting in the queue just to get in to see the room and see how small it is. This is the fireplace in the Lake Hall. You've got unicorn, you've got a lion, you've got the coat of arms there. Now, unicorns are very important in Scotland. They're They're our animal. Unicorns are real, okay? They're just very small and invisible. Now, we're in the Great Hall. The Great Hall, it's got lots of weapons and coats of arms and things. It was heavily restored in the Victorian period, so it has that feel about it. But if you look up the ceiling, the hammer beam roof is original, so that dates to the 1500s. So definitely remember, when you're in any old building, look up, always have a look above your head, because there's usually detail there that you miss otherwise. Views from the castle, like I've said, are absolutely fantastic. So we're looking towards Calton Hill here. If you can, get a guide to take you around. If not, they have an audio guide, or they also have stewards that can take you around on a group tour. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please like it, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if there's anything else you'd like to see, let us know and we'll see if we can put one together for you. So I hope you enjoyed that.